Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I have not posted a video in such a long time, so please excuse me if I stumble over my words or don't really know what to say, because I'm making this video totally out of random, and this video is going to be about my experience so far of becoming a surrogate. I guess let's just jump right into it. So, not last year, but in May 2018, I submitted an application to become a surrogate. At first, I was just thinking about it. I've always thought about it. I'm like, okay, I want to be a surrogate, help somebody out. I have two beautiful kids that I love very much, and the thought of someone not being able to have their own kid, I don't know, it kind of just blows my mind on how much people struggle with infertility, or if they just something happened where they're not able to carry a kid at all, but they still, want their DNA, and they want to be able to have a child that they can call their own. I know adoption is, there's that choice is open too, but they really just wanted their own kid. That's theirs. So back in May, I submitted an application. It took a very long time up until the point where I'm at right now, but I went ahead. The first thing that I got when I was emailing the agency is that my weight was a little bit over what they wanted, because they want a specific BMI, which is 30 or less BMI. Sometimes they will accept 31, 32 BMI, but I believe I was like 15 pounds over the BMI. You also need to at least have a kid. I have two kids, so it definitely helps out. And then I needed to be off of birth control. I had IUD Mirena. So my first thing was making sure that I ate healthy and exercised regularly, which I did for a very long time, for like 2 months, and that was really good. I lost, I want to say 10 pounds. So I pretty much, right now I'm 5 pounds over, so I still need 5 pounds to lose. But that's been going good so far right now. After I lose the so in the process of losing the 5 pounds, I had to get my Mirena taken out. I ran into so many problems with trying to get this birth control out. It was like, kind of traumatized me, honestly. So I went to my doctor. I was like, okay, I want my birth control out. And they always ask, are you trying to have a baby? Are you trying to have a baby? And I'm just like, I mean, I guess you can say that. But I was open. I'm kind of open into telling them, like, okay, I want to start, the process of being a surrogate, of course. So she tried to get my birth control taken out, and she's like, I see the string, but like, it's not, like, she kept trying to like pull it and it wasn't coming out. So I ended up having to go to an OB. So I went to my OB, and they tried getting it out too, and they were like, wait a minute, like, I can't feel the plastic. So if you know what Mirena is, and if you don't know what Mirena is, it's like a plastic IUD, and then it has a string. So it's like, looks like a butterfly pretty much, and then there's a string that should be hanging out of your cervix, and I guess that string was not visible for the doctors to see. So the doctors were like had this long rod and was going inside me, and like they're like, I can't feel it, like, you know. I'm like, well, what the heck, like, why isn't this, like, why is this giving me so much trouble? And like, I don't know, it was causing me pain, and then my periods were definitely irregular and all this other stuff. So they suggested that I get an ultrasound to see if it actually is there and where it's at, because sometimes Mirena could float off into different parts of your body. So I went to go get my ultrasound done. The ultrasound tech was like, okay. She's like, it's sitting very, very low. Like, she's like, if it's sitting very low, like, why couldn't they get it out? And I'm like, who knows? Like, the Mirena is supposed to be, I guess, sitting in your uterus? Your uterus. It's supposed to be sitting in your uterus, like, up. But mine was sitting, like, really, really low. It's weird, though, that they couldn't find it. So, yeah, so I had my ultrasound. She says she sees it. And she's like, hey, like, be careful because you could get pregnant. And I'm like, okay. So I've had this thing for almost a year. I haven't got pregnant, but, like, I don't know how any of this stuff happened, and it ended up going, like, it was sitting sideways. My Mirena was sitting sideways. That's why they couldn't fill. They were filling, like, on the sides of it because it's supposed to be straight up and down, but it was sitting sideways. So each time that, like, they try to fill, they were, like, over here, over here. So, and it's really, really thin, really thin. So, went back to the OB, and I was like, hey, you know, they were able to find my Mirena. I want it taken out now. And they were like, okay. And the doctor came, and he was like, okay, we're going to get this out. Like, he was so determined. He's like, we're going to get this out. We're going to get everything going. I promise you. And that was very, very painful process. Very painful process. He ended up numbing my cervix because he, like, wanted to get all the way up in there, poking around and everything. So it was painful, but once they put the numbing stuff, I was like, okay, go ahead. Finally got it out. Oh my goodness. That was the most exciting thing. And I felt more freer. But with the Mirena, it definitely controlled my hormones. Like, I wasn't that emotional. I wasn't that emotional at all, and I'm an emotional person. So without this Mirena, I'm starting to feel more emotional, and my hormones are just out of everywhere. So, okay, I explained that. So I got my birth control taken out, which is something that you need to be off birth control because they want your hormones to regulate, and they don't want the extra hormones in your body, because once you start the process of becoming a surrogate, they give you medication, and the medication is hormone. So that's just extra hormones and everything that goes into your body, and they need you to, I guess, regulate, just have a normal body. So I'm sorry guys, I'm cold. I don't know why. So got the birth control taken out. I'm working on my weight. So they were able to let me go through the process and everything, you know, while trying to lose weight, which is good. So the birth control stuff ended up delaying everything. Like, I should have been started, like, getting the intended parents, they call IPs, the intended parents. I should have been got that. I should have already probably started my medication. I should have already, like, I could have been pregnant by now. But because of the birth control like, it took me 2 months to go to that first doctor's appointment. Okay, and they're like, okay, you need to go see your OB. So I had to, you know, you don't get appointments right at then and there. So I had to wait to go get an OB, and then their OB was like, okay, go get an ultrasound. I had to go get an ultrasound, and then I had to wait and go get, so it was way too much. It was like 2.5 months for me waiting on appointments and getting everything going. So so after that, I had to go get a psychological test. Psychological test, you go to this lady or this man, a psychologist, and they ask you a whole bunch of questions about why you want to be a surrogate, and questions, like really deep questions, like the questions were like 500-600 questions. She gave me a computer, so we didn't have to keep talking back and forth. It was a computer of a whole bunch of questions, but the lady was there to help you. If you had a question about the question that needed you to explain more, she was there to help me, okay? Because the questions, it repeats itself and it tries to trick you. So it asks, you know, are you suicidal? Because if you're suicidal, you can't become a surrogate because you're caring for someone's baby. They need to make sure that you're mentally okay to be able to emotionally carry a baby. So they ask deep questions, like, you know, if of course it's your body, but it's their baby, the intended parent's baby. So the intended parents, if they wanted to have an abortion, for you to have an abortion because maybe they have Down syndrome or whatever the case may be, and the intended parents can't help. I wouldn't even know how to explain this, or how to use it in my right words. If the parents don't want a Down syndrome child, you know, they have that's their choice of having an abortion. So you have to be okay with having an abortion if that was to occur. And of course, I totally understand, you know, just because I'm carrying the child, like, that's not my child at all. Like, that's their decision. And I have to go along with it. So you have to be okay with that, with those kind of situations. And they also ask if, you know, if the intended parents don't want twins and you end up getting pregnant with twins, it would be their choice to eliminate one baby so they can have just one child. And of course they ask, you know, are you comfortable carrying twins, because one embryo that is planted into you can split to two. So it's just a lot of questions, and you know, they want to make sure that you mentally are okay with that. Even if you don't agree, I mean, it's just you know, it's not your child. So you know, so I mean, I'm totally understanding about that and everything. So after all those questions and you answering the questions, like I said, repeats, and it makes sure, like, I don't know how many times they asked me, are you suicidal? Like, I don't know how many times they reworded it to trick you into, you know, to make sure. So you had to read those questions carefully, and it's like 500-600 questions. It's a lot. So after that, the lady tells you, like, right then and there, okay, you passed or you didn't pass, you know, and it tells you about yourself. It's so interesting. Like, you're this kind of person. You're that kind of person. Mine was, I forgot what it said. It told me I was, like, genuine person, all this other nice stuff. So I was like, yay. So after I passed that, she said she was going to start matching me, my agency. But she never did, and I kept getting frustrated because I'm like, why? You know, she said she was going to start matching me with my intended parents to see, and I'm just like, what is going on? But come to find out, I guess she just didn't really want to say, but she was really waiting for me to get this birth control taken out, and that's what slowed down the process so much, because once you pass that, you could move on to the next step. But the birth control ruined me. I will not get Mirena again. I would not get an IUD, anything inserted, nothing. I will just take pills. Um, so after that, and after I got my birth control taken out, we were like, okay, cool. So after you get your birth control, or you're done with your birth control, whatever birth control that you do take, you have to wait at least 2 to 3 periods to have your body regulate, because those hormones are essentially still in you. So I actually had my 3rd period last week, so so she was like, okay, I'm gonna start matching you now. I'm like, perfect, like this is what I've been waiting on, everything. I was like so excited, and it took forever. I'm like, okay, she told me 2 to 3 weeks ago that she was gonna start matching me. Like, what is the holdup? But let me tell you guys, the holdup was, it wasn't even a holdup. She just didn't want to tell me who she was giving my, I'm all over the place, sorry. So she didn't want to tell me who she was giving my application to. And my application that I submitted was like my medical history, everything like that. So the intended parents have to review that and make sure that, okay, this girl sounds like a nice girl, and she's somebody that I would want my child to be carried by. So I ended up getting my parents maybe a week ago. I was so excited. She told me, I have someone reviewing your application right now, and I will let you know. And so she emailed me a week ago and said, hey, this couple is very interested in your profile. They want you. Now it's your turn to review their profile and see if you like them. And, if you want them to be your intended parent and all this other stuff. So I'm reviewing their application, and everything that they want is what I want. So I'm gonna tell you guys, it's really hard to pronounce their names, but I'm not gonna say their names, just because I don't know how far I could say anything. But they are from Japan. Crazy. They're from Japan. They have a 1-year-old daughter, and they want a sibling for their daughter. The mom, she had her naturally, everything. They got pregnant on their own, but after she had her daughter, something ended up happening where she had to have a hysterectomy. But she did freeze her eggs in that process. So she has, the application said she had 3, but the lady from the agency told me she had 2. So I don't know what it is, but I'm going with, there's 2 frozen embryos that she has, and they're at the IVF clinic in LA. So I'm so excited, and I just hope that everything goes well. They seem like very sweet parents. I actually have a video call with them next Monday. I'm so excited to meet them. I just feel so like the process, it's gonna be so hard, because I know it's not easy, but I'm excited, like, to give someone a child. Like, I don't know. It's so awesome. And then to give them, a sibling for the child that they do have. I'm excited to do this, and it's definitely gonna be rewarding. Like, I've always wanted to help somebody, and to help somebody with a lifetime experience, like, it's so exciting. Excuse me. Okay, so yeah, so they so since they have frozen embryos, they're ready to transfer like ASAP. So so after I accepted, the intended parents and said, hey, I'll carry for them. So she has to type up, I believe the contract. So she typed up the contract, And the only thing that's going to slow this process down even more is that they are from Japan, and they don't speak English. I know they said the dad, the father, speaks just a little bit of English, but you know, the mom too. The mom has to be in it too. So the agency is typing up the contract, and then the contract has to be translated, or I guess now typed into Japanese. So they're having an interpreter at I believe another IVF. Sorry, the interpreter from another IVF clinic is helping them, you know, read the contract and helping them understand the contract, especially in their own language. So they said that's going to take a couple of weeks. So once that contract is up, I believe they would go through it with their lawyer, and the intended parents are providing me a lawyer. So once they sign their contract, I will have to go to a lawyer and go sign my contract. Once all of our contracts are signed, so make sure that we understand what we're getting ourselves into, and making sure that, you know, how much time that they are going to be spending with me, and it's a lot. So so after everything is signed with the lawyer and stuff, I will be going to the IVF clinic in LA, and from there they're going to be from there they're going to examine me and make sure that I don't have any scarring in my uterus and all that other stuff, and if there's any cysts in my ovaries. And so everything looks good. I believe I'll be starting medication and everything. Now, I don't know. I've watched so many videos and I've read through everything to see the best I could, but since they already have frozen embryos and they're like pretty much ready to be transferred right now, I don't know how long I'll be on medication, because I believe I don't even know, but I believe that every 2 to 3 months, maybe it's 2 months, that you're on medication. But that's because, you know, they need it tricks your body into thinking that you're already pregnant. So I don't know. So, I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. I'm going to keep you guys updated on everything. I'm so excited to start this journey. I'm really excited. So, this was just a quick video. Hopefully this is not too long. I guess my next video will be after everything is signed. I'll let you guys know. And we'll go from there. But if you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me. I will answer them the best way I could. If you are interested in becoming a surrogate, I can definitely recommend my agency to you guys. My agency is down in like San Diego, and they had really great reviews, so I decided to go with that one. There was a lot of other agencies. There's a lot of agencies. You just have to your state has to be legal. In the state that you're living in, it has to be legal, because I know some states determine it illegal and you can't. So I don't know. I think that's pretty much it. And I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you for watching so much. Don't forget to click that like button. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And I will be posting more videos. Thank you. Bye.